Our today's lesson is how many, how much, and because versus so. The objectives of this lesson are: 1. How much, how many, and how we can use these two forms as we go further. Alright, so we're going to start with how much, how many. In everyday English, we normally use much or many only in questions, only in questions and negative clauses. We normally use much or many only in questions and negative clauses. Furthermore, examples: how much money have you got? How much money have you got? Carla does not have money, or Carla does not have many friends. Carla does not have many friends. What do you notice in the first example? How much money? That means you are concentrating on, I'm going to write you something. Quantity. Alright? You are concentrating on quantity. Alright? Whereas Carla does not have many friends. Alright? Many friends. You are concentrating on numbers. Alright? So, how many? Countable nouns have a singular and a plural form. In plural, these nouns can be used with a number. Alright? And make sure you see the word number. Alright? So countable nouns have a singular and a plural form. In plural, these nouns can be used with a number. More examples. You've got how many? 100 friends. Many friends. 100 friends. Many friends. Again, the concentrations here is on the number. Alright? Because of the use of how many. 100 friends, that means many friends. Whereas how much in the countable nouns can only be used in singular. These nouns cannot be used with a number. These nouns cannot be used with a number. More. Look at the example here. How much? That means much money. Much money. You cannot use many. You cannot use many with this form. I mean, how much? In all other positive clauses, however, and positive, which means yes in all other positive clauses other than negative clauses. However, we prefer expressions like a lot, lots of, a lots of, or lots of. Examples. Examples. Carla has a lot of or lots of friends. Carla has a lot of or lots of friends. This is a positive clause. It's not a negative clause. This is why we use a lot of or lots of. The other example, Kevin has a lot of or lots of money. So we can notice here that a lot of or lots of can be used with countable or uncountable nouns. Alright? Using a lot of or lots of is for both countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Okay. A little or a few often used with countable nouns and uncountable nouns. They are often used with countable nouns and uncountable nouns. A little, a few. Would you like to have some examples? Yes. For examples, 4 friends, a few friends. 4 friends means a few friends. Why using few? Because it's counted. It's counted. It's counted. You can count the number. Whereas a little money, it's uncountable noun. Money is uncountable noun. This is why we are using, yes, sorry, lost connection. I lost internet connection, but anyway. So these are some examples of how to use a few with countable nouns such as friends, a few friends, 4 friends, a few friends. Whereas little with uncountable noun such as money, if you would like to express the meaning of not more or not having a big number of something. A little money. More. This is an activity of using how many or how much. Alright? Now, in the first example, you have got to fill in the blank. It says, stars are there in the sky. Now, use either how much or how many. How many. Alright? So you've got the first example. I have Mr. Saleh saying that much. You mean how much? How much stars are there in the sky? Alright. You mean, alright, Mr. Saleh, how much? Alright. Good try. Whereas Mr. Ahmed Ramadan is saying how many? How many? How many stars are there in the sky? Okay. Let me ask Mr. Ahmed Ramadan, why did you use many? How many, Mr. Ahmed? And you did not use how much as Mr. Saleh answered. Can you answer, please? Why did you use how many? Why did you choose how many and not choosing how much? Yes, Mr. Ahmed? If you have any answer for this, why using how many and not using how much? Why did you choose how many? How many is for countable things, countable nouns. Perfect. Perfect. Alright, consider this, Mr. Saleh. It's countable. Countable things or countable nouns. Stars. 1 star, 2 stars, and 3 stars. Alright? We will find out the answer as we finish the whole 5 sentences. Number 2, people live on islands. Are you going to use how many or how much and why? How many or how much and why? Alright, what do you think? How many people or how much people live on islands and why? Alright, we've got Mr. Saleh, how many? And Mr. Ahmed also how many? But why? Why did you choose how many for these or for this sentence or for this question? Alright, I think we're having Mr. Ahmed is trying to type something because it's countable. Mr. Saleh says because it's countable. Alright? Alright? Alright, the same answer for Mr. Ahmed. Alright, let's go. Good answers. Number 3, birds are there. How much or how many? Birds are there. Birds are there. We've got Mr. Ahmed. How many? Good. And also Mr. Saleh the same. How many? Good. What about water is in the ocean? Number 4. Water is in the ocean. How much? Why how much, Mr. Ahmed? Why using how much? How much is for uncountable things or nouns. Good. Good. Very good. What about number 5? What about number 5? Money is in a bank. How much or how many is in a bank? Mr. Saleh says how much money is in a bank. How much? How much is for uncountable thing. So how much? Alright. Let's ask Mr. Computer to give us the answers. Very good. So how many stars are there in the sky? uncountable nouns. SARS. How many people live on islands? How many people live on islands? For number 3, how many birds are there? Very good answers. For number 4, how much water is in the ocean? Very good, uncountable, as you have just said. How much money is in a bank? The same as the 4th sentence. Very good, perfect. Thank you so much. Alright, now let's move to using because. I said so, that's why. Because versus so. Because versus so. So is used to show the results. And notice here, results of an action. Results of an action. And do not forget this word, results. And because is used to show the cause of an action. And make sure to notice this here, cause, alright? The cause. So, this is the difference between these two, so and because. So is concentrating on the results of an action, whereas because is concentrating on the cause of an action. Why? Answering the question of why. Alright? More examples. These examples are for using so. Alright? Using so. I have to study all weekend, so I can pass my exam. Alright? Results. Here, the result of having to study all weekend is passing the exam. I have to study all weekend so I can pass my exam. The second example. I want to learn English so I can speak to people around the world. I want to learn English so I can speak to people around the world. Alright? So here is giving us the results. The results. Alright? Alright, let's move now to the examples of because. I passed my exam. Why? Because I studied all weekend. I passed my exam. Why did you pass your exam? Because I studied all weekend. The other example. I can speak to people around the world because I learned to speak English. I can speak to people around the world. Why? Why can you speak to people around the world? I can speak to people around the world because I learned to speak English. I learned to speak English. Yes, Mr. Ahmed Ramadan asking why use because. These examples are for the usage here of because. Alright? And if you can just excuse me to get back here and to notice that so is giving us the results, whereas because is giving us the cause. Alright? As I have just said, the answering of the question why, Mr. Ahmed. Let's have what? I didn't get the question, Mr. Ahmed. Why? Why? I didn't get your question well here. It's not clear to me. If you can just differentiate between using so and because. So is for the results, alright? Whereas because is for the cause of the action. Now, if we can just take this activity, alright? If we can just do this activity, that would give us a chance to understand more about using because and so. So, this activity is asking us here to add either because or so. The first example, she is late. She is late. She will have to take a taxi. She is late. She will have to take a taxi. What do you choose? Because or so? Mr. Ramadan is saying so, and Mr. Saleh Abdurrahman also so. She is late, so she will have to take the taxi. Alright? Alright? Let's leave the answers later, but let's go now further. Now, number 2, she is tired. She is tired. She has walked for 7 miles. She is tired. She has walked for 7 miles. Is it so or because? Is it concentrating here on the cause or on the results? She is tired. She has walked for 7 miles. We've got Mr. Saleh is saying because, alright, because. What about you, Mr. Ahmed? Which one do you choose? Is it so here or because? She is tired. She has walked for 7 miles. Do you choose, Mr. Ahmed, so or because? We've got Mr. Saleh saying that it's because. Mr. Also, yes, good. Mr. Ahmed, alright, because, alright, we will see this later. Very good. Number 3, it is an ideal restaurant. The food here is good and cheap. It is an ideal restaurant. Ideal means perfect choice, good choice, alright? It's an ideal restaurant. The food here is good and cheap. What do you choose? So or because? Which one do you choose? We've got Mr. Ahmed is saying so, and Mr. Saleh is saying because. Alright, let me just please ask you, why did you choose so, Mr. Ahmed, and you, Mr. Saleh, why did you choose because? Please. Why did you choose, Mr. Ahmed, to use so here in this third sentence, and you, Mr. Saleh, why did you choose because? Because if you give us the reason why did you choose your answer, so this would tell us that you really understand the whole sentence. Mr. Saleh is saying that because it's cause. You mean it's an ideal restaurant. The food here is good and cheap is the cause. Alright? So, for Mr. Ahmed, a stroke of luck. It's not clear to me, Mr. Ahmed, your respond here, and the reason why you have chosen so and not because. It is an ideal restaurant. Let me give you a key to answer such questions here. If you read the first sentence, it is an ideal restaurant. Ask yourself why. It is an ideal restaurant. Why? Because the food here is good and cheap. If you've got a proper answer for a question when you said why, then you can just make sure that the answer is because. And if it doesn't fit, that means it should be so and not because. All right. This is just a key that can help you answer such activity. So you have changed your answer, Mr. Ahmed, to because. All right. Let's see this as we just finish the whole activity. Number 4, we are too busy. We are too busy. We cannot go to. We cannot go to the cinema today. We are too busy. We cannot go to the cinema today. All right, Mr. Saleh is saying so, and Mr. Ahmed is saying also so. We are too busy. We cannot go to the cinema. All right, let's ask Mr. Computer to give us the answers. In the first sentence, she is late, so she will have to take a taxi. Cause here. Whereas number 2, she is tired because she has walked for 7 miles. In the second sentence here, she is tired. Why? Because she has walked for 7 miles. Whereas she is late in the first sentence, she is late. Why? Is not fit here. All right. It's not fit here. So the using of the question why is not okay. So this would give you that you have to use so to give you the cause. Number 3, it is an ideal restaurant because the food here is good and cheap. It is an ideal restaurant. Why? Because the food here is good and cheap. Number 4, we are too busy. We are too busy, so we can't go to the park today or to the cinema today. We are too busy. If you say why, if you ask yourself why, then we can't go to the park today or we can't go to the cinema today would not fit here. So this tells you that you have to use so. And this this clue or key that you ask yourself is a good thing for you to get the correct answer, whether you use so or because. All right. This is the end of our lesson. If you have any questions, I would be glad to answer yours. And since we've got 5 minutes, yes, I think Mr. Ahmed Ramadan is having a question. I would be so happy to answer your questions. No, thanks. Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed. It's been great having you. These are our references here. Flying High Book 1 and Traveler Book 1, Mega Goal Book 1. It's a combination. Our lesson is a combination of these 3 books. All right. And thank you so much. I would just conduct this poll to you. Thank you so much, Mr. Saleh, and thank you, Mr. Ahmed. Thank you, Mr. Falah. Thank you, Mr. Abdulaziz Al-Harbi. This is a quick poll here. Please, if you can just respond to it, I would be happy. Thank you very much indeed. It's been great having you. Mr. Abdulaziz Awad Al-Harbi, you have just reached late, and all right, and if we've got 3 minutes here, I can just go very quickly back to the objectives here, Mr. Abdulaziz, just to give you just an idea of our lessons today. We've seen here how much and how many and when to use both, and also because and so. How much and how many, and we have said that we normally use how much or how many only in questions and negative clauses. Questions and negative clauses, all right? For example, how much money have you got? Carla does not have many friends. For how many, Mr. Abdulaziz, countable nouns have a singular and plural form. In plural, these nouns can be used with a number. Example, we've got many friends, 100 friends, many friends. Countable noun. Uncountable nouns can only be used in singular. These nouns cannot be used with a number. They cannot be used with a number. Example, much money. Much money. You cannot say many money because it's uncountable. In all other positive clauses, which is the opposite of negative, all right, however, we prefer expressions like a lot of or lots of. A lot of or lots of. Carla has a lot of friends or lots of friends, the same meaning. Kevin has a lot of or lots of money. So the word friends are countable, and the word money is uncountable. You cannot count money. So you can use a lot of or lots of with these nouns. A little, and we have seen also a little or a few, often used with countable nouns and uncountable nouns, all right? Examples, here we've got 4 friends, a few friends. Or a little money. Few with countable. Few with countable, and little with uncountable. I think I'm losing connection here. I'm using internet connection. Is my voice okay? Mr. Abdulaziz? Mr. Abdulaziz, can you hear me? Mr. Abdulaziz, is my voice okay? Good. Alright, so, and also we have seen all these activity using how much and how many, and because and versus so. Anyway, you can just go back to the recording to have an idea or to revise the whole material. Thank you so much indeed, Mr. Abdulaziz, Ms. Hutun, Mr. Saleh, Mr. Falah, and Mr. Ahmed. Have a nice time, and I wish you all the best. Good night, and may God bless you all. Thank you so much. Thank you.